Another day and another Maple Leafs victory.
Absolutely unbelievable. It's a tie game! Woo! Finally! Go Leafs, go! It's not baseball, but let's see a rally. Let's go Leafs!
Shh. Let's go. The Toronto Maple Leafs make it 10 of their last games they have won, and it's a 2-1 victory against an original 6 opponent in the New York Rangers. Long time no see, Clarkey. How you feeling about this game tonight?
Well, you know my policy. I only come on when the Leafs are playing good. So I guess their play of late has been pretty nice. So I decided to come back on. Probably not going to get roasted by any non-Leaf fans lately, but great game tonight. Thanks for having me on. Looking forward to the show. And like you said, always nice to see an original 6 matchup. We were deprived of that last year, and it was nice to see New York visiting Toronto tonight.
It was second time these two teams have met up this season, and another low-scoring matchup. I think that was expected coming into this game, especially the way that Jack Campbell's been playing. Igor Shesterkin's been putting up good numbers with the New York Rangers this season as well. So
Yep.
I was kind of expecting a lower-scoring matchup coming into this one.
Yeah, I mean, you said it best. It's definitely 2 of the top goalies in the league right now. Shesterkin and Campbell both are top 5, I think, in each of the stats of GA and save percentage. And yeah, low scoring defensive duo, neutral zone battle tonight. But it was still an interesting game to say the least, and we have a lot to talk about. But yeah, 2 really great goaltenders.
Yeah, some great goaltenders. Only one of them qualified for the 3 stars of the game here tonight, though. That being Jack Campbell getting the win. Morgan Riley, first star of the game. What a performance from Morgan Riley tonight. 2 goals from the defenseman, and he was making some nice defensive plays out there as well. Dryden Hunt getting the 3rd star of the game. He scored the New York Rangers' only goal in this game.
Yeah, I agree with those stars. I think you got to put Riley number 1, like you said, had 2 nice goals. And he's living up to that big contract that he just inked, and had a great game. And a lot of other Leaf defensemen, I think, had good games tonight. Jack Campbell, again, standing on his head as per usual, making some nice saves, splashed the leather a few times. Dryden Hunt, you got to throw in a Rangers player just because it is a tight game, 2-1. You can't be all Leafers.
Yeah, and the other guy that stood out to me from the Rangers tonight was actually playing on the same line as Dryden Hunt, Philip Hedl. He's a young center. I think he's got a lot of potential to be an emerging star in this league one day, but he was also someone who stood out to me, honorable mention in this game. But yeah, you mentioned that Morgan Riley contract, and I was kind of thinking the same thing heading into the show, and I was thinking to myself, wow, you know what? Morgan Riley's really been standing out ever since he signed that contract. And I'm not sure if this is actually the case, or if it's something that even resonates with him, but it just seems like he's playing with so much more confidence after signing that contract, maybe getting the monkey off of his back and taking some stress off of him, allowing him to play more freely.
Yeah, for sure. I think that, when you sign a big contract, we don't know because we're not professional athletes, but I mean, there's obviously going to be a bit of pressure if you just sign a new deal, especially long term. Morgan Riley, he wears the A every night. He's a leader on the team. So I'm sure that that's just added pressure to the pressure they already have being in Toronto, and him especially. He's probably a bit more experienced dealing with it just because he's been in the city for quite some time now. But I agree with you. It's definitely a good monkey off the back getting those goals.
Yeah, and not only has he been playing, like performing offensively, but I feel as if he's just been looking like he's just been standing out more, making the plays that we're used to seeing him make, and that's a good thing, especially right after you sign that contract. Um, just you need Morgan Riley to be your top defenseman right now.
Yep. Yeah, we got some comments flying in here too. Love to see those. Always love the comment section.
Anthony.
Oh, Anthony, the Kraken fan. I hope he's not trolling us.
Um, Denver says next game is going to be tough. The Penguins aren't going to take the Leafs lightly. Everyone knows how well
Yep.
they have been as late. Well, the Pittsburgh Penguins, they had a 6-0 victory tonight over the Montreal Canadiens, and that moves the Pittsburgh Penguins to 6-6-4 on the season. It's been a rather disappointing start for them. They've obviously had some injuries. Crosby missed some significant time to start the year. Malkin's still out. You had Letang sidelined, and then you had a bunch of players impacted by COVID. So there's a lot going wrong with Pittsburgh there, and they look to bounce back with this win over Montreal tonight. But the Habs, at the same time, they've been a mess. They've got 4 wins so far, so take that with a grain of salt. The Penguins do play the Maple Leafs tough, so it's a big test Saturday night.
Yeah, I was surprised hearing that record. I haven't followed the Penguins too much this season. I know that when the Leafs played them a while back, they weren't off to a hot start, but didn't really matter because they pumped the Leafs. And yeah, they're a team with a lot of talent, and they showed it again tonight. Like they can come out and score 6 goals and shut out. So the Leafs are going to have to play them hard, but I agree with Denver. It's going to be a tough game to say the least.
And I think that's actually an important game for the Maple Leafs. I know every game's important. It's an 82-game season, and the points all add up the same in the end. But I think that this is a big game for them mentally. You have Sidney Crosby, who you know that he plays the Toronto Maple Leafs well every time he plays in Toronto. He's been a Maple Leafs killer throughout his career. Uh, and then you lost 7-1 to this team just a few weeks back. You're on a really hot streak right now. You need to stay with it, and you need to put some demons behind you. Beat the Pittsburgh Penguins after they destroyed you 7-1.
Yeah, I remember watching that game. It was an ugly game to say the least, and it was a Pittsburgh Penguins team that we already mentioned was depleted with top talent, and they still stood up. And that's the NHL for you. That's why, at least I love watching hockey every night. Is that sometimes teams can pull rabbits out of the bag and come up with huge upsets. Doesn't matter who's starting, what the name is on the back, and that's what the Penguins did last time. So the Leafs can't take them as another joke, and they got to come in ready because it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a big battle.
It will be for sure. I'm excited to see that game, but it was a great game we watched here tonight. A closely contested matchup. Rangers Maple Leafs original 6 matchup.
Yep.
2-1, and both 1-goal games between the Rangers and Leafs so far this season. We had the 3-2 overtime loss earlier in the year for the Leafs. But how about Jack Campbell's performance? How about Jack Campbell? Soupy's been unreal for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Over the past 4 games, 117 saves on 119 shots.
Yeah, I want everyone in the comments to say one word to describe Jack Campbell's performance as of late. I'll try to think of something. I'm not a poet, but it's got to be a great word.
Impeccable.
Impeccable. It has to be a word that just, impeccable. It emphasizes how well he's been playing, and really no word or statement can underestimate or can fully capture how well Jack Campbell's been playing and how important he is to this team right now. And the Leafs have really relied upon him, and he showed up.
This team is rallying behind Jack Campbell on a nightly basis. There's been a lot of 1-goal games this season for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Their record in 1-goal games is 7-1-1 actually. So they've played in 9 1-goal games, and that's half of the games so far. This is the 18th game of the season. So half of their games have been 1-goal games. And Jack Campbell, for a lot of those, has been a big part of the reason that the Maple Leafs have won.
Yeah, and watched the interview after the game. He was just cool, calm, and collected. I don't think he's fazed by anything right now, and that's what you want out of a goaltender. Doesn't look rattled. He looks comfortable. And he's definitely within the pipes. Is playing really comfortable and playing really well. We got some comments coming in here. Professional, yeah, that goes with what I just said. I didn't even see that. I agree. 100% professional. Unearthly. Oh, that's a good one, Corey. Consistent. Yeah. Beast. Yeah, all great descriptions of how he's playing right now.
Soupy's been beast mode. Yeah, Jack Campbell's been unreal for the Leafs. Really ever since he took over last season, and it's been fantastic to watch. We've been talking about how composed he looks. Just check out. I have some clips of Jack Campbell over the past couple games I've gone to. I'm going to share. I went to 3 Leafs games recently, so I've got some clips here. Just check out the footwork in this clip. So there wasn't any real big save or anything in that clip, but his footwork impeccable. He just looks so relaxed there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for his knees after games because he's up and down, up and down. But yeah, he's always in position. He's always ready to go. I mean, I feel like that's what you're supposed to do as a goalie. Like that's expected, but maybe he's like he just looks quicker than most. At least right now, sharp. Just,
And check out this save clip because this save came at I believe this was the end of the third period in the Calgary Flames Toronto Maple Leafs game. It was 1-1 at this time, and this
is
save,
this another one of your clips
yeah,
from the
check,
game?
yeah, check
Fan
this,
perspective. Let's see it.
check it out. And there's a reaction as well because man, that save got me hyped. It was a big one.
Oh, I can't wait to go to a game with you. You're amazing to go to games with. But yeah, I mean that's a great perspective. On TV, you definitely don't get that angle. And yeah, that was a great clip you just shared there. You see a lot more athleticism when you're actually at the games, don't you? You see the athletes right front and center.
It's no, the good stands out and the bad stands out even more. Like if someone's struggling, it really stands out, and if someone's shining, of course that stands out as well.
Yeah, just like the acrobats he has to do in that, and splits and everything, quick reaction, freezing that puck. Like obviously you see it on TV and you get accustomed to it, but in person, like that clip, it's like, oh my gosh, like, and that was in overtime, wasn't it?
That was leading up to overtime. I think there's a couple seconds left in the third period. That was massive. Yeah, that was a fun game to go to. We got a comment here from Denver. Do you think Jack Campbell is better than Frederick Anderson? It appears he has had a better save percentage during any time Frederick was a Leaf. I wonder if the defense has been better. Therefore, it's hard to base judgment. So yeah, the defense here has definitely been better than what Frederick Anderson had for Jack Campbell. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But Frederick Anderson's been fantastic for the Carolina Hurricanes right now, and Jack Campbell's been fantastic for the Toronto Maple Leafs right now. If you look at the numbers right now, Jack Campbell's numbers are better over the past 2 seasons than Frederick Anderson's, and even this season as well. Frederick Anderson's been putting up consistent numbers over a very long time, though. These are both great goaltenders. It is hard to answer who's a better goaltender. Right now, I think you have to say it's Jack Campbell, just how he's playing.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question, Denver. I'd also add in, the defense is probably better, but also I'd say the team overall has been playing better. It's not just defense that helps a goalie out. You've seen a lot of more of a collective team effort. Maybe it's even the construction of the team. But no, I agree. Like right now, Jack Campbell is definitely the better goalie. I just say that you also have to consider in terms of talking about Anderson's, like his body of work is really impressive. Like he's been a top goalie in the league for years. And I know, don't you have the stat? He's like top 5 or 6 for Leaf wins ever, or something like that, or more than
He's
that.
fourth.
Fourth. So like Leaf fans can't bash him whatsoever. It was just his time came to an end here, and we moved on to Campbell, and luckily Campbell's been unreal.
Yeah, Jack Campbell's been fantastic for us. He's been a pillar back there for the Maple Leafs, and we got to lock him up and get him extended ASAP. Uh, Raptors leading.
Sports Center. I love the Toronto. Everyone loves the Toronto teams here.
Kasha is looking like a valuable asset. Andre Kasha, yeah, he's been fantastic. What have you thought of the addition of Andre Kasha for the Toronto Maple Leafs, Clarkey?
Yeah, he's been a nice addition and a good young stud. And I think overall, good point by Wolford. A lot of times, like VC, I should say, last year, like it's hard to sometimes judge these third and fourth liners and really get behind them. Not because obviously they're NHL players, love them, but like if you get behind the third or fourth liner too quickly, they could have a good first 10 games, but then after that, they're not doing anything. But both Kasha and AC there too. He's another guy, a lot of asset, a lot of strengths they're bringing to this team right now.
Yeah, David Kampf and Andre Kasha have been fantastic for this team. They've been an energizing line. They've brought electricity to this team. It's been great to watch them play. Brian says Keefe trusting Kasha, and there's no reason not to trust Andre Kasha. He's a veteran. He's been doing this for a little while now. He knows his role on the team. He's not going to try to do too much, and he's going to do the right thing. He's going to make the right plays, the things that he's supposed to do.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely a really underrated skill of a player is knowing their role in the team. Now, obviously, like you want players to always perform best, get the most goals, get the most assists when you think about it sometimes. But at the same time, like you said, like certain players play certain roles on a team, and that's what Cash is doing right now.
You want to be coachable as a player. You want to be able to do different things and adapt your game because as you develop through life in hockey, you're going to be the star all the way up until the time you get to the NHL. Then when you get to the NHL, you're going to fill into a different role. And a lot of players have a tough time adapting and doing that. We've seen a player like Andre Kasha. He's doing that. Um, he's adapting and he's playing the role that he's supposed to play. You mentioned a name that was interesting, Jimmy Vesey. I watched in the All or Nothing documentary. We're talking about coachability. I watched the All or Nothing Amazon
Mhm.
documentary, and Jimmy Vesey didn't seem very coachable. Uh, Sheldon Keefe
Yeah.
tried putting him in the right situations to succeed. He put him on a line with William Nylander and John Tavares, and he didn't get the production he was wanting. He pulled him aside at practice, tried having a conversation with him, and VC brought up one game. But Keefe just wanted to say, "Hey, you're not performing as a whole. You need to be better and fill in doing this. You need something that you stand out doing." And that was something that he just couldn't adapt to.
Yeah, I haven't seen that personally, but yeah, interesting.
ASC says, "Why isn't Matthews scoring at his normal pace?" Thoughts? For me, I think it's Austin Matthews just hasn't fully hit his stride yet. He just hasn't fully hit his stride yet because when he's hot, he's hot. He'll get there. I'm not too concerned about it.
Yeah, I mean, another thing we do have to consider is these guys are human. I mean, I don't know if you've had surgery before. I'm not sure.
Yes, I
Uh,
have. With
yeah,
surgery as well.
same here. And we're not professional athletes, and we know how hard it was to recover from any surgery. And having a surgery in the off season, I don't think that helped him.
Yeah, no, of course, any surgery is not going to help, but I don't think that's it either. It could be something. It could play into it for sure, but I think Austin Matthews just fully hasn't hit his stride yet because it's coming. It's gonna come. Not worried about it.
Miles has it. Yeah, that one's good
I'd
too.
rather have Nylander with Matthews than Marner with Matthews. Yeah, Nylander and Matthews were looking good. They were looking great together. Marner and Matthews have been looking great together as well. I'm
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of flexibility in the top 6 with what you can do with these guys. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing about the Leafs is no shortage of skilled players, skilled forwards, and JB brings up a good point. I mean, maybe that's a line combination Keefe needs to go back to at the end of the year or throughout the year.
Yeah, I'm sure the lines will change, and that's something that I like. That Sheldon Keefe's able to change. He's flexible. He's adaptable. He's willing to make those changes and hold people accountable based off their performances. We've seen it in the past.
What's this Hosang comments? We got a few coming in here. Want to get to that?
Uh, bring up Hosang with Marley's 7 goals in 11 games. Josh Hosang is doing well with the Toronto Marlies. He's a very talented winger. He could make an impact on this team, but um, I think his impact would be minimal. I think he has the pieces to be a very talented player. Of course, he has the skill set. Like
28th overall in 2014.
well, more than that, like Don Cherry said, this is the most skilled guy he's ever seen play. But
Really? I
yeah,
didn't know
he's
that.
just had a difficult time piecing it together. Josh Hosang's a very talented player. Um,
Oh, he had
we'll
80.
well,
Oh my gosh, he had some nice points in the OHL.
yeah. What tell some OHL stats?
Um, 2 seasons he had over 80 points. With one season he had 32 goals. The other he had 63 assists.
Yeah,
And even in the AHL, the one season he had 45 points in 55 games. So he's
OHL
almost a
with
point.
Windsor, right?
Yeah, he started off in Windsor for the first 3 seasons, then he went to Niagara. So he's kind of local, I guess, too. He's born in Toronto. Maybe give him a shot. Yeah, that's a good point, guys.
Yeah, we could give him a shot. See how it goes. Um, I would not be opposed to seeing him play with John Tavares, someone who he played with in the Islanders organization. But that's also a big ask too. Hey, here's an opportunity to play in the NHL now. Go up and play on the second line left wing. That's a big ask.
Yeah, especially, yeah, I agree.
Would you rather keep Hosang in the minors until January or March? I mean, this team's rolling. This team's steaming hot right now. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what I'm thinking right now.
Yeah, I agree with that point. I mean, I get the Hosang point. Obviously, it's a guy that we all know has a lot of potential still. But at the same time, why bring him up right now when the team's winning? Like, obviously, if there's an injury or the team isn't, cools off a bit. But right now, I don't see the need to bring anyone up or down.
Mhm.
But obviously, that's going to change. There's going to be injuries and there's going to be bumps in the road. The Leafs aren't going to be this good the whole season. I mean, I hope, but I don't think so.
There's one player that kind of stands out to me that we've we just recently acquired Kyle Clifford, and I'm wondering what his role is going to be in this organization. I think he's going to play
Mhm.
in the minors, but I could see him slotting up in a fourth line role at some point. And I think he is going to get some fourth line time at some point in the season. I don't know when it's going to be. Probably not right away, but I think Kyle Clifford will see some time in the bottom 6 for the Leafs this year. And the way Nick Ritchie's playing, I think he's playing himself out of the lineup.
Yeah, I know you were texting me throughout the game talking about it. What are your thoughts on Richie? And everyone, shoot some thoughts about Richie right now.
Nick Ritchie, I'm trying. I've wanted to enjoy the signing of Nick Ritchie because he's a big body. He's someone that was supposed to add more intensity and sandpaper to the bottom 6. Maybe even fill up on in the top 6 on one of the left wing positions. But he's been irrelevant for this team other than what this team's paying him. I've been saying that for the past few shows now. What I see in Nick
2
Ritchie,
points. I didn't know that. Sorry.
what I see on a nightly basis from Nick Ritchie is someone who he's trying. It's not an effort thing. He's trying, but he's just too slow. Every single play, Nick Ritchie on any loose puck or rebound, he is just a couple steps too slow and the defenseman on the other team scoops up the puck, and then it's puck for Rangers or whoever we're playing against. Nick Ritchie has had so many opportunities. He's having an opportunity to play on a top line with Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews, and he's doing nothing with it other than taking penalties.
Yeah, 1 sec. I got some stats. I'm gonna come in here, but you keep talking here. I got a couple stats. I'm gonna come in here.
JB says Richie is overpriced, $5 million over 2 years. Huge mistake. 2.5 million per season.
Okay. Guess it. Okay, I got something.
What's up?
Richie versus Hyman in terms of just pure size. How tall? What is the height and weight of both players?
Nick Ritchie's 6'3" or 6'4" is what he's listed as,
Yeah.
and he is 220.
Okay. And Hyman.
Is that right?
No, you're half right. He's 6'4", 240.
Okay.
He's 240 pounds. So he's a big, big boy.
And what, Hyman's 5'11" or 6 foot?
Hyman's 6'1", 200.
Okay.
So there's a bit of a size difference there. And I mean, Richie's a big guy.
That's a significant.
He's got 40 pounds on him, basically.
That's a significant size difference.
Yeah.
ASC says we're going to need Richie in the playoffs.
I mean, AC might be right.
You might be right. We need Richie to
Rip
fill in
on
a
him right
role.
now. We need someone to
we need someone to fill in the role of what Nick Ritchie's supposed to do, and whether that's Nick Ritchie or not, we will see. That remains to be seen. But Nick Ritchie's needs to step up somehow.
Yeah, the fans aren't liking him a lot here, and Jim Bob says he needs to put in some work.
I was a fan of the signing at first. I thought
he's had some great looks followed up by some bad shifts. Brian says Richie's expendable. He can't get a shot on net.
He needs to put in some more work. He's had some great looks followed up by some bad shifts. I see him take some silly penalties, but I'm telling you, it's pretty noticeable. Like what I see from Nick Ritchie on a nightly basis is on any rebound or loose puck, he is 2 or 3 steps behind it. He's like in front of everyone, closest to the puck, and he still doesn't get it. It's just
What's his contract? People are saying he's overpaid.
$5 million over the next 2 seasons, 2.5 AAV.
Oh, okay, I thought it was $5 million a year.
No.
I
Sports Gamer 91 says Richie was signed as a top 6 power forward, and I think he should be a 4th line grinder. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can only talk about it so much. What we're seeing right now, I think everyone can say that they're not impressed. And it definitely was a signing by Dubas and the organization that went out on a limb a bit. But
you need to find these players to fill in on a yearly basis because you have so much money invested in your top 4 guys. That's just the way it is. That's what this team's going to be. You're going to have players that are moving in and out on a yearly basis, and you're going to need to fill in holes because you have so much money invested up there.
Yeah, it's the construction of the team. You're right. And definitely when, like, the way we're describing him in the comments, like everyone thinks he could be or he was signed to be a top 6 forward, and his salary says that. But, you know, to get a player that can play with Marner and Hyman or Marner and Matthews and be effective, like he's got a lot of pressure on himself too. Maybe he's just, you know, he's feeling the heat too. I'm sure he is. So we'll see. I'm going to come to his defense a bit, but I definitely agree that he's not performing the way he should be right now.
Yeah, I want Nick Ritchie to succeed, and I want him to succeed with the Toronto Maple Leafs. I just haven't seen it, and I'm going to call him out on it. That's just how it is. I'm just analyzing the play that I've seen from him. If you haven't already, please make sure you smash the like button and hit the notification bell.
Smash it.
You'll be notified every time new content's released on Maple Leafs Media. And if you're watching on Facebook, share this video, tell a friend to tell a friend. Always got content being released here.
Yeah, I love these comments, guys. Keep it coming. And gals. And gals.
We were talking about Saturday night, the Pittsburgh Penguins roll into Scotiabank Arena. Uh, that'll be a fun game to watch. I'm going to try to do another one of these post-game streams, but I'm not certain about if I'll be able to because I'm on to Buffalo for a Bills game.
Yeah, so I don't know if everyone knows, but yeah, this guy's a super Bills fan. If anyone watches NFL, and yeah, you're excited to go to the game. I know this is a Leaf channel, but quickly, what are your thoughts on the Bills game this weekend?
Bills game this weekend. Score prediction. I've got the Bills taking it 27-17 over the Colts.
Nice.
I think, yeah, I'm excited for it. It's going to be quite the process getting over to the border, but
Do you have to get a test,
I have
or
to
they
get
scratch that? Then they get rid of the PCRs.
that comes into effect at the end of the month, so I'll have to
Oh,
pay and then come back that way. Yeah, yeah. Bills Mafia, Colts lose. Uh, stay tuned for my Bills bunker reaction. I'll have a live reaction from that game as well on my other YouTube channel. It's called the Bills Bunker. That's wrong. No, Bills are not
no
the
way they're
underdog.
listed as an underdog
No, they're not.
against the Colts. Carson
No,
Wentz, come
they're
on.
not the underdog. I've checked that. No. Um,
If they are, you're gonna be giving me free money, but
Jack Trout says Matthews deserves some cred for his two-way play. He's digging really hard. Yeah, that's stood out as well. That has stood out to me as well throughout the season. That Austin Matthews, he's been getting back there and doing the things you want to see him do defensively. He's stood out in the defensive zone, and especially when you're at the games, he stands out doing those things. He's been physical too. I like it.
yeah, I've seen him throw a few hits, and I mean, yeah, obviously we want him to score goals and whatnot, but the Leafs are pulling off wins these low-scoring one-goal games. And if Matthews can't get it done on the score sheet, at least play some defense. And yeah, good point. He definitely is playing two-way right now.
Yeah. Am I doing a tailgate? Kinda, yeah. I'll be tailgating for that game. Uh, got some good food in me, and hopefully
Good food.
I'm
What,
gonna try.
hot dogs and burgers?
I'm gonna try to meet some of the Bills players before the game. I know where they go into the stadium, so I'm gonna try to meet some of them before the game. Yes, thank you, Andrew. Hit the sub.
Beauty.
Or, yeah, thank you. You hit the bell and sub on that. Thank you. And if you haven't already, please make sure you do. Miles Tech says, "Sorry, go Pats." What's the score of that game, by the way? I'm wondering.
They're playing the Falcons, right?
Yeah,
I'll look it up.
yeah. Oh, it's 13-zip New
13
England.
zip. Yeah. Uh-oh, you better watch out. New England's coming up on your back here.
Oh,
But
you
we
know
should stop talking about football.
Jim Bob says, "I'm loving the low-scoring games. I've been waiting for the Leafs to start playing like this for a couple seasons." What have you thought of all the low-scoring games? The Leafs are winning a lot of like 2-1, 3-2, one-goal games. Like that's something that I talked about earlier in the show. The record in one-goal games this year is 7-1-1. What's your takeaway from that stat?
I mean, it gives you confidence that the Leafs can close out games. I mean, if you're winning close scoring games, obviously you could spin it both ways. You can spin it negatively, saying like they're in these close battles, they should be dominating more. Multi goal leads is probably more preferable. But at the same time, you could say that the Leafs are able to get themselves in these sticky situations, but still find the back door out and win a game. And let's be honest, I've seen the comment later or earlier, like it's still the early season. We care about the playoffs here. And proven in the playoffs, Leafs have been in these close games and they've lost. So let's hope that they can continue this in the playoffs and that when it is a 1 or 2 goal game, you don't just blow it.
Yeah, it's a nice stat, and it's definitely promising to see the team coming together in these low-scoring games that are tight. It's nice to see them emerge victorious in one-goal games, but uh, to do that over an 82-game season, it's probably not as sustainable as getting some blowout victories. You need some of those. You need some blowout victories. I'd like to see some more convincing wins where we really just step on the throats of our opponents and we just trample them all night long. I'd like to see some of those nights. If I'm being honest, it's been really fun to watch these 1-goal games, and I'm loving how the team's coming together in them. But I want to see some more dominance.
Yep. What are these score updates? Is this Raptors?
I believe so. 81-74. Who are the Raptors have been playing?
I think Jazz or Portland. Jazz.
Jack Trout says, I think Soup likes Toronto and he'll get a raise. Yeah, no doubt Jack Campbell's getting a significant pay raise this upcoming
Wait, is
offseason.
his contract expiring?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah,
That sucks.
so that's
What's
the thing.
his contract right now? It must be cheap.
Yeah,
Like $900K or something.
I'll
look it up.
I think it's under $2 million. Jack Campbell contract is
okay. 1 point. It's 1.3, so it's like 1.665.
Yeah, so he's got a really bargain deal for the Leafs right now. That's coming up. The Leafs got to re-sign him.
How much do you think he's gonna get paid? Do you think he's gonna get like $10 million a year or something like that? Like
he keeps playing the way he is. He's gonna get paid like a top goaltender because he's
I'm
been a top
highest goaltender. But he's getting like. You think he's gonna want term though, right? If I'm his agent,
yes,
he's a guy that's been struggling throughout his career. He wants term.
He's 30 years old. He has an injury history. He wants the security of a long-term deal. If I'm going into this as his agent, that's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
Miles Tech says he's probably getting 5 or 6.
5 to start.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's gonna ask. He could ask for more easily. Let's see. Frederick Anderson contract was what? Frederick Anderson's contract
Oh my god.
looks like Frederick Anderson signed a 2-year, $9 million contract at $4.5 million. He came off an injury-plagued season, and he was 31 years old. He signed that deal. Leafs, they're gonna have to pay Campbell over $5 million a year unless he takes a.
Can I share my screen?
Yeah. See at the bottom. You know how?
I just want to show something real quick. Where?
At the bottom of the screen, down there. It says share.
Okay, 1 sec. All right. Share screen. Share screen. I don't know which one I'm sharing.
Hold up, everybody. He's gonna share a screen. Show us something.
Am I lagging right now?
Nope.
Okay, 1 sec. I was lagging.
Last of Us clip says north of 5 for sure. I agree with that.
Can I see my screen?
Yes.
Is it the Forbes article?
Yep.
Okay, look at this. This is just, I just looked it up. What? You got Matthews at 1.
Mm-hmm.
You got Marner at 3. And Tavares at 7 for highest paid NHL athletes.
Yeah.
That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing.
It's not ideal, no. But yeah. That's the way this team's constructed. We signed.
That's a problem. That's a problem. I know we all know that, but that's a problem.
Yeah. It's a difficult thing to overcome. That's for sure. We're seeing the impact it has on your team on a yearly basis. You have to plug in pieces. It's like a puzzle. You're building a puzzle around 5 core players. You have your players locked in there, and then it's like a puzzle, plugging pieces in around it every single season.
Yeah, I mean that's where like you get a Richie, and you kind of almost have to gamble on players like this because you have only so much funds to allocate.
Yeah,
and
you can get a Spezza, you can get a Kasha, or you can get a Richie. It's like you never really know exactly what you're going to get because you're taking gambles on a lot of these players.
Yeah.
If you remove, you still have 3 players making nearly 33. Trading only Nylander won't solve anything. Yeah, Nylander's contract is
I think
a
it's
great
six
contract.
six point
6.9.
seven. Oh,
6.9.
6.9.
So that's a
I'm
great contract.
I remember I don't know about if everyone in the comments remembers this, but a couple of years ago when he was signing and like obviously he held out for a bit, right? And the whole media and everyone was up in arms about like, oh, he's selfish. He thinks for himself. Obviously, professional athlete, he needs to take care of himself and his family. But like looking back, his contract was not that bad,
And
and then it was not that bad for the Leafs.
you know what makes that kind of worse? You remember how he sat out for a while and it came down to the last day of is he going to resign or not?
Yeah.
Well, that whole negotiation thing that was over like just over $200,000.
Yeah. Obviously, you're negotiating. Like it's not just like you're going to a back room and like
No,
I'm
but
sure there's lawyers involved and
that
whatnot.
that's all it was over. Like at that point, Kyle
Oh,
Dubas should have just
200K.
given
Oh,
it
that
to
was a
him.
difference in contract.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Kyle Dubas should have just given it to him at that
We
point
go.
because like this kind of seems questionable. If you had Nylander the whole season, then maybe he makes more of an impact later in the year because he was really struggling after coming back, being away from the team.
Yeah. For the next show I'm on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an analysis. It's going to be how much Leafs pay for production. So you know how McDavid gets like over 100 points or whatever, like unreal right now. Him and Draisaitl have 60 points or 55.
Hmm.
How much are the Leafs paying per dollar, or we should say thousands of dollars for
Pay per
production from
goal,
each one of those players?
per
Because
goal, per points.
I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it on my spreadsheet. I'll have it all shared for the next show.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Just remind
That'd
me.
be fun. That'll be a fun. That'll be a fun thing to go over. Maybe we just do like yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good. Make a production out of that. Joel says, let's trade 2 first-round picks for Kessel. We need a scoring. Clarkey, what do you think about that? I know you're a big Kessel fan.
I mean, you're not going to get me to argue that. I mean, 2 first rounders might be a little high, but I love Kessel. I always will love Kessel, no matter what. I think the city was so bad to him. And that whole Leafs team. Obviously, they weren't a good team and weren't going anywhere. But Dion retired the other day.
Yeah, what do
Those
you think?
guys will always have a little space in my heart, whether they were on the best Leaf teams or not. You know, we liked them.
What's your thoughts on the career of Dion Phaneuf?
I mean, I remember the day he got traded to the Leafs, and I was really excited. And I think Dion, we all seen his clips of hitting and whatnot, and he was a young, promising player. He came to the Leafs, and he had some ups and he had some downs, but overall, maybe he didn't pan out to what we expected, but he was still the captain, and I think he was still a good leader. He was still a good leader for this team and organization, face of the organization.
And I think you put it well. You didn't pan out to the expectations of us as fans. Dion Phaneuf, he was a serviceable top 4 defenseman for the majority of his career, but he was asked to be the number 1 defenseman on a team. He was the captain of the team. That was a big ask. Not the captain thing, the top line defenseman, being the top pairing defenseman on a team when he probably should have been a top 4 guy. You shouldn't have been your number 1 defenseman. He was put in a not a great situation to succeed, not surrounded by much talent for a lot of the time he was here. So he was a great captain, though.
Yeah, the one thing I would say, my memory might not serve me best here, but he was coming from a Calgary team, which I think had like unreal defense. They had Regier. Was his name Regier? I forget.
Robin
Regier.
Regier, yeah.
Robin Regier. They had Jay Bowmanster, I think, at the time. They had Giordano. They had him. They had a couple other players. Like that defense, that lineup was unreal. And obviously, I think Phaneuf was maybe on the second pair, and we thought that he could step up. And it was a bit of a gamble, but at the end of the day, who'd the Leafs trade away? Stajan and picks?
Asian, yeah. What's that?
Stajan and a pick?
Yeah, it was Station and something else.
Maybe a first rounder or something? I can't
Yeah,
remember.
yeah. I don't think it was. Might have been. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the logistics of that trade were. That was a long time ago. But yeah, big dubs for the Maple Leafs tonight. And it was great seeing Clarkey back here on the post game show. Nice seeing
Yeah.
everyone in the comments section. So Clarkey, you want to give your closing words for Maple Leafs media post game show?
Yeah, it was fun to come on tonight. You know my policy. I only come on when the Leafs are doing well because when they're not, we get a lot of hate and it hurts my feelings a lot. No, I'm just kidding. But it was a good time having me on. I always love seeing the comments, seeing some familiar faces or names and some new names. And yeah, thanks for having me on. Go Leafs, go.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Clarkey. And everyone, thanks for watching. Have a good night.